coach. His name's Mike Brady. I'll be making an announcement about this soon. But this is vlog one of Monstrousitous Endurance is what I'm calling it. And it's basically, I'm going to chronicle, you know, my, I guess, transition. I'm transitioning into something I've wanted to do for years, which is actually being able to put my feet on the pavement and move. A couple weeks ago, I did a 12-minute run test and did not quite make a mile. And my watch extrapolated I could run a 13-minute mile, which I wasn't that far off. I know my trail that I go on, or my road I go on. But to me, that was completely unacceptable and it was fucking embarrassing. So I beat around the bush about it for another week, and now I am where I am. And yesterday was my first run. I'm going to begin with 3 runs a week, spaced out with a day in between. Kind of how I program conditioning as it is, high-low kind of format. So yesterday was 10 1-minute intervals, all through nasal breathing, and I'll put the stats on that here in just a minute. But did that. I'm a little bit beat up this morning. The left knee hurts this a little bit, but I'm 260 pounds, so I'm not like some spring chicken. um, so that was day one. Yesterday I also went on a 3-mile walk. The day prior I also went on a slightly under 3-mile walk, and that's kind of the goal, is to use these walks to build efficiency of the heart, so I don't have to work nearly as hard while I'm running. Because my heart rate, even with nasal breathing, is peaking out like 156. So that either tells me my anaerobic threshold is high, or I'm just a lot more efficient breathing through my nose in a hard effort than I thought I was. So basically, I glue my mouth shut, not physically, but the entire time I run, just force it to the nose. The same thing I teach clients to do. Same thing I teach kids to do when they're stressed. As a teacher, glue your mouth shut, breathe through your nose, force it. So that was day one yesterday. Also going to continue lifting. I've got 2 really banged up shoulders, and I've got a referral in for physical therapy on my left one. So I'm waiting to hear back from them. And it just, God, it hurts. And it's been like this since March, and it just is getting worse and worse. But I'm going to continue on with a basic bodybuilding type split, because I like that kind of training. I'll just restrict the range of motion with my bench press and go like a floor press or a board press. And I'm cycling through different types of workouts each week for the body part. So I'm on like a high intensity, moderate intensity, low intensity rotation. And what that amounts to is the highest intensity days I do the fewest exercises. It's either 2 or 3 for a body part. Reps are in the 3 to 5 range, or 5 to 8 for accessories. And then my moderate days, I'm 4 to 5 exercises, and reps again are in that kind of 6 to 8 for the big ones. Accessories are kind of 8 to 12, somewhere in there. And then for my low intensity day, that's also my high volume day. So it's 5 to 6 exercises, 3 to 4 sets. It's just pump work. And the reason I'm doing that is just to kind of keep things fresh, first of all, so I'm not going in and doing the same thing every time, because I hate doing things that are stale. And allowing my body to just feel different strains at different areas. So I've already trained legs this week, trained legs on Monday, trained chest and biceps yesterday. I'll train back and triceps today. I'll take a day off either tomorrow or Friday, but I've got a run to do tomorrow. And that will be my shoulder day. I'm just going to have to restrict the overhead movements for right now, which really sucks because I like doing them. I'm not great at them anymore. I can't behind the neck press 315 anymore like I could in my 20s. 43 now. But I enjoy pressing overhead. So, yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. It's a new try something new. It's something I've been wanting to do for a long time. Um, because training for me has really kind of gotten stale. Um, been following the same basic split, which was like a bros kind of split. Chest, shoulders, triceps, back, biceps, legs, arms, shoulders. I've been following this for the last 2 years. And I got to April this year and I just couldn't get my ass out of bed like I used to be able to do. May got even worse. June, went on a couple of vacations, put on some extra weight, and that wasn't cool. Because, I can still see my abs, but um, don't feel like I need to feel. I don't feel great. And I also got some blood work back that I didn't like. Had my checkup for the year. My cholesterol was up higher than it's been in a long time. And, some other things, but I just need to get healthier right now, and I need to try something new, like I said. And I'll be continuing doing this. I'll probably do a talk once a week, kind of chronicle this. But this has been Monstrousitous Endurance Vlog, episode 1. Thanks for joining me.
All right, so you can see here my stats off these run/walks. That's a walk right there. And we get into strength training. So first day I'm going to show you is my shoulder day. We had some shrugs to get warmed up, and I paired this up with a banded traction, which you're going to see here in just a minute, because I've got kind of a jacked up left shoulder. It pinches right at the trap, but really hits me on the top of the head of the AC joint, and it doesn't feel great at all. So I used one of these orange jump stretch bands and helped us to get my shoulder a little bit looser. And you know what? It really, really did help. You'll be able to see a couple things here. So I'll do an overhead first, where it's just kind of moving around in a circle each way. I got this from Dave Tate, Elite FTS, when he was getting himself back in order. But then just kind of moving it around a little bit, getting the lat a little bit loosened up as well. And then I'll do some retractions, both from the overhead plane behind. I'll do like a shrug, and don't really have a set number of reps on it. It's just get it done to make yourself feel better. And then lastly, I'll kind of bring it across the body again as another retraction of the shoulder. It doesn't feel great, but when you're done with this, it's money. And I mean that. So you'll see me go to the other shoulder next. Same process, going overhead, doing circles, both directions in and out. And then we get into some retractions. All of it's kind of ugly because I haven't done this since I was the head strength coach at Southeast Missouri State. And I was religious about it then. And I never had a shoulder problem. I could rack lock out almost 500 pounds. I barely missed a reverse band with just orange bands on it like this one with 500, and could raw bench 425-ish. So I was always stronger at the lockout than I was off the chest, until I got to that 500, and that was about the fucking end of that. So again, you can see where I'm at here. In this week, ended this week body weight wise at 258.8, which was down 0.4 from last week, which I'll take it. My diet's not 100% right now, but I go off a carb cycling model. So on my off days, it's very low, like anywhere from 50 to 100 grams of carbs, and the other days it's more like 200 to 300. Today's a high day, which I'll approach 600 to 700 grams. Lateral raises next. Again, these don't really feel good, but I'm still doing them. Then we've got some front raises coming up next. Not a super sexy shoulder day because the overhead pressing is not there. The heavy upright rows, which I really love, aren't there. I'm really just trying to pare this all down and just get to myself where I feel healthier again. I'm going to keep the muscle mass I've got. But you can see I got a spare tire. I got to take that tire off. Now, in the background, you see my Born Primitive flag. use code MSP15, save yourself 15%. Support Bear and his company. There's not a better apparel company in terms of the type of customer service that they provide. Like, they pulled things completely and replaced product when it wasn't right before for people. Like, he does business well, he does it ethically, and he gives you great products. Band pull aparts were next. I did 100 total of these because I think rear delt strength is something that's you can never have enough of. So I did this one with a red band. Every other day this week I did it with my real thin orange band. And just, I love band pull aparts. Every one of my athletes, every one of my clients does band pull aparts at least once to twice a week, because rear delt strength is something that you can never have enough of. All right, jump into the back day. Pull-ups. I just pull-ups as few sets as possible to take me to 20, which for this week was 4 sets. Then some heavy barbell bent over rows. This was 275 for 10. And I'm not someone that's like, oh, you have to get your chest to the floor. I think you work this in the way it feels good for you, where you could feel the lats working. Moved to dips next. Dips were all sets of 10. Nothing sexy about this. And then had some ab work, some standing abs, which are in my world, these are something that are one of the best ab movements that you can do. Front side strength in terms of being able to crunch over with weight is key. I also like dumbbell sit-ups, which you'll see some of these in the coming weeks. But I'm beginning with these because I haven't done direct ab work in quite a while. And getting to the last movement, I put this up on my YouTube as well. So it's a double kettlebell deadlift. You're going to do 1 rep on your first set, and then you're going to do a gorilla row on each side 1 set. Then you're going to go 2 reps of sumo deads. Then 2 gorilla rows on each side, all from a dead stop each time. Then I move to 3. This is my finisher. You can see, like, the gas tank is getting pretty low here. But 3 reps per side. And then I worked up to 4 and then 5 reps. And I just saw no reason not to show what this looked like because this set just sucked. And it's going to be a movement that I'm going to start throwing in for a lot of my clients that have access to kettlebells, because you can get so much bang out of the buck in terms of leg development, back development, grip strength, and just a little bit of mental fortitude. My idea is to try to take this up into that 15 to 20 reps range by the time I decide I'm going to move up to my 97s. So it's going to require quite a bit of work. So there are going to be some up weeks, there's going to be some down weeks, but 20 reps is the goal on this, because I just think if you can do 200 reps of rows in 1 set and 200 reps of deadlifts in 1 complete set, that makes you kind of a badass. And like I said, we'll move to the 97s after this. These are 80s. But yeah, so it's awesome. All right, so part of this vlog, again, coming back after my 3rd day of running. Today was more of a run walk because my left shin felt like it was going to blow apart. So that wraps up my 3 days of running for the week. I did a day of 10 intervals of 1 minute, all nasal breathing. Day 2 was 5 intervals of 3 minutes of running with 2 minutes rest, all nasal breathing. And today was an attempt at 20 straight minutes, but I really just didn't have it. I might come back on Sunday, try this again, but this is a lot just to jump in very first week, having not really done anything. I've walked a lot this week though. I put on about 20 miles of walking this week, which for some people might not seem like that's a lot, but for me, I was walking 45 minutes to an hour every day, on top of the additional runs I would do, on top of the lifting I was doing. I finished up the last day of lifting for this week as well. I was back and triceps. I love training back. Tried a new movement today called the kettlebell dead stop row. The kettlebell deadlift row slash row. It's pretty intense. It's kind of a ladder where you start at 1 rep, you work up, see how high you can work up. Today was 5 reps for me. And I've got a video also on YouTube about this. But all in all, solid week 1. Excited for week 2 of this. I think that the interval days are going to be better for me right now until I can really get acclimated. Because I'm after the overall systemic response, which is cardiovascular health, improving my outputs. But yeah, appreciate y'all listening.